Where the hoes? Where they at? It's whispers from the void.
Yeah. What an intro.
It was as monotone as I can make it. Where the hoes? Where they at?
God damn. Holy shit. So this guy who is
Where
dancing.
their ass? Where their titties?
That begins well.
Fucking.
That begins so well, people. So well. So this guy who was dancing and saying shit and wanted some hoes. This guy who wants some hoes at 7.
I am a father now and a husband. My hoe days are behind me.
The whole days of Evan
hoe
are
days,
behind
yeah.
him.
The days of waking up having to wash my hands in a stranger's sink are done. They're no
Well,
more.
I'm not a father yet, and my
Bill's
whole
hoe
days
days
are
are
in front
just
of me.
starting.
My whole days are just starting.
He's just starting. He's just getting there.
God damn. So yeah, Evan over here and Phil the videos for the intimate stakes. We're tuning in, folks. What a week. What a day. What a 2 weeks. Because it's been 2 weeks. And yeah, I'm still sober for now because it's the last week.
Last week,
sober. And honestly, I took a decision. And it's tough, but I will not do it next year.
Oh,
I will not do it next year.
no more sober.
I realized something, and I realized it when I was at the show at the Foofs. It was the Montreal Madhouse. It was like big hardcore show for like 2
Pretty
days.
pretty much everybody there must have been sober, huh? The
No,
hardcore show.
no, like
Then they're not hardcore, dude. If they ain't straight,
You're
they ain't
talking about
hardcore.
straight edge, dude, and there were some straight edge people, but not a lot.
I feel like up here there's a lot of like people that are like hardcore. Like,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
of
but
that
hardcore,
crowd. They're
straight
all,
edge.
They're all sober.
Yeah, but like here in Quebec, it's not the same. Like most of the hardcore people, it's like you're drinking. Some people are straight edge. Like it always depends on what you are and what you are as a person. And yeah, a lot of people were drinking beer, and like I'm a beer lover, so seeing beer, even the cheapest beer, the worst beer ever, I was like, dude, I need some. But yeah, like it sucked a little bit, and that's why I realized that. I was like, can I really do it every fucking year? Like I was like, I need my beer, like, and yeah, beer
So-
like this, like no alcohol is fine, but I mean, I need the real one.
What
I
you
need
what
the
you
real
guys what you guys are listening to is
thing. Alcoholic.
is an amazing tale of when alcoholism finally beats out sober intentions, and Phil
you know
saves
what?
his family.
And I also realized I'm not that alcoholic because I always drink like 3 days a week, and the rest of the days, the rest of the week, I'm completely sober.
Oh, you got to work on that.
No, I don't need to.
We got to get those numbers up.
Hey, I'm not a father yet. I don't need to drink every fucking day.
Yeah, dude, those are little league numbers. You got to get the numbers up, dog.
Nope. I don't need to. Like, I know that I would drink like I'm drinking maybe more during the holidays and during the summer vacation, but except that, I always do like 3 days a week. Always. With some exception, but yeah. I always try to control myself, dude. Always.
Well, what
Are you
drinking?
controlling do you control yourself, Evan?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You control?
Yeah, it depends on where I'm at. You got to know when to release, when to just let the floodgates go, you know?
we always need to release something, and that's why I wanted to release it at the Hardcore show, but I saw all the beer. I was like, I cannot do it now. I'm like near the goal of doing the whole month. I cannot abandon this.
Phil's out there violently two-stepping and throwing his fists in the faces.
Oh, dude, we will talk about this like in a few minutes, but before we have to talk about the drinks. Drinks of this episode is sponsored by... Not sponsored. It's sponsored by our Patreon. What?
Oh, God.
What?
We did
a
Patreon, then we're really sunk.
Yeah. And
Jesus
we need
Christ.
money. We are fucking whores.
Yeah, my hoe days for sexual pleasures are over, but my hoe days for getting you guys to send us money is just beginning.
It's not over. It's just starting, baby. It's just starting. So
we're just getting there.
So are you drinking something, Evan?
I am, but what do you got first?
Well, it's my last week of soberism, so I have some Lagabière from Saint-Jean-sur-le-Richelieu. Like this, it's better. Lagabière. Great logo. It's a non-alcoholic beer. It's called Ta Blanche sans alcool, which means your wheat beer without alcohol. Your non-alcoholic wheat beer, if you prefer. So it's de-alcoholized. So the difference, it's simple. It's a beer with alcohol that they de-alcoholize. The principle is very simple. So yeah, let's pour it like a pig because I got a lot on the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Yeah. What are you looking, Evan? The meaning of life?
Yes.
Nice.
I found it.
Oh, you found the meaning of life! It would have been funny if the beer is really called the meaning of life.
Hold on. I gotta grab a glass.
He's going to grab a glass. He's going to grab a glass. He's going to grab a glass. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. To grab a glass. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. To grab a glass. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. To grab a glass.
Well, I couldn't find a glass, so I found this parrot.
Okay.
So I'm gonna drink out of this. It's it. So me and the wife, before we had the baby, went on a little excursion, found a place on the beach that served you drinks, and this was one of the options. You could get it in a parrot, and
nice.
I said, hell yeah, I want a parrot drink, and she got a Buddha. She was upset with the Buddha because the Buddha, it came out of his dick, so, like the straw. So, but I got this dope parrot.
Sorry, it's funny. Came out of his dick like.
So, I have a Redemption Rock.
Ooh.
It's Cold IPA.
Cold IPA. What is that?
I don't know how to say this. I do know how to say this, but I'm too tired today, and my brain's not functioning. Bivouac.
Bivouac. Yeah, Bivouac.
Yeah.
Bivouac. I don't know.
It was it was brewed for Veterans Day.
Ooh.
It's like camp. It's Bivouac. Like a basically like sort of like makeshift shelters and shit like that.
Okay.
7%. Cold IPA. Interesting.
Cold IPA. Yeah. I've never had a cold IPA before.
Well, it's cold.
It's cold. And
we'll start with that.
Let's start like this. We got a good start. It's cold.
Yeah, we're starting somewhere. So, but
Wow.
yeah.
Honestly, this one, like, if you are around Quebec and you find this one and you are sober, like if you and someone that is like touring in Quebec and wants something non-alcoholic, go get this one because it's fucking great. Honestly, and there's like some pack with cans, like you can take a 4-pack or 6-pack of this. Like, yeah, for sure it's a bit expensive because it's like it's craft beer, but yeah, it's still fucking good if you are sober. But yeah, so yeah, we were talking about Hardcore show, if I remember.
Yes, we were talking about your experience when you were two-stepping at the hardcore show.
Yeah, this one. Okay, so I realized something at this show. The hardcore crowd in Montreal is so fucking intense. Bruh, I've never saw something so intense. I don't know how is it in Western or in Boston, but god damn it. Like, fuck, this crowd, like, it was like punches were flying in the fucking venue. Like, it was fucking insane. I was trying just like to film some of the bands when I was like in the pit, not in the pit, like near the pit, but like some people were like moving the pit. I was like, bro, I'm here. I'm just filming. Can you just stop punching? And they don't listen. They don't listen very well. So I was like, fuck. And fortunately, I didn't lose my glasses. Nor they broke. They never broke. So it's pretty cool. But it's just fucking intense. I was like on the side and I was like, yo, it's violent as fuck. It's the first time I saw something so violent. But everyone had fun. And honestly, I was like, I had fun too. It was so great to see all those bands. And like, this was a fun moment. Like, I think the second day was the best, even though I had to quit a little bit early for a simple reason that it was too much to see fucking 12 band in a row. 12? I repeat, 12 band in a row. It was a little bit too much for me. But honestly, after that, like, even though it was so great, all the bands were fucking great. There was a band like the guy. Imagine the guy is like the buffiest guy ever. He resembles a little bit to the singer of Parkway Drive, a little bit, but redhead.
Oh, really?
But redhead, a redhead Parkway Drive singer. But this guy was so chill. Like, it was so fucking fun. The band is Desecrate, by the way. And honestly, go listen to fucking Desecrate. It's so good. I will do a lot of shout out like this because, like, oh, damn. You want some good hardcore, man? Go listen to that. And also, one of our friend and alumni of the show, Grayson Carpenter, was singing for a band. And honestly, I knew this guy was a drummer. But I never knew that guy could sing and could fucking, like, just get a crowd moving. And this guy got the frontman energy, man. He got it. He got it so much. Like, Grayson, you're fucking great, dude. So, yeah, it was so good. It was a great moment. I was, like, with Grayson and his wife. And I was sleeping on the couch. So, yeah. It was a fun moment. It brought me back to the old days, which is like, I've never lived in the old days.
Brought me back to simpler times.
The simpler times I never understood because I wasn't born. So yeah, the Montreal Madhouse, I hope they will do a second edition next year. And honestly, if you are coming in Montreal, go to that show because it's fucking great. I don't see you well, Evan.
I know. I'm trying to. I think it's because I put the. Watch this, right?
Yeah, you put this over there. Oh, that was better. So, how's your parrot doing?
Doing just fine.
And the beer is good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. IPA, but you can definitely tell it's a slight difference.
Okay.
I don't know what the cold represents. I'm assuming it's the brewing. Like how you would brew a lager.
Maybe.
You know,
maybe that could be in the...
That's what I'm assuming, but...
Yeah, but like, if a cold IPA, like, you brew it like a lager, it's not an India Pale Lager?
I don't know.
That's weird. I have to ask someone that knows cold IPA.
Yeah, it's advertised as cold IPA. I don't know what that means.
One day we will do a hot IPA, and then after that we will do a hot and cold.
See, I remember asking, I remember asking guys like Drew from Kanawaki.
Yeah.
Like, has every style been done? You know, and like I remember we were talking about how it's sort of like yes and no. I feel like that's cold IPA. I don't know. I feel like that's one of those that like I don't ever see.
I think most of those style are it's a trend in a way. It's like the thing is, like, I talked to Steph about it, Steph Dells, and like, take for example the Black IPA. The Black IPA, it's what he's calling a dark Cascadian ale. And like, it's something completely different. It's like the first form was the dark Cascadian pale ale or something like this, and it became the Black IPA. But like, I don't know the story like full, but of what he said, I was like, okay, so Black IPA wasn't like the first name. There were like a older version of it before.
You like a Black IPA?
I love Black IPA. Black IPA are great.
Yeah.
And I love the hazies, like Mr. Dan did on the fucking group yesterday. Like, he posted something on the group. It's like, yeah, you see the meme, a guy in front of a tomb, and on the tomb it's written Black IPA, red IPA, Belgian IPA, and hazy IPA or something. No, hazy or something like that on the tomb, and you got just a guy just doing this. It's like West Coast IPA. I was like, well done. But West Coast, like, I love West Coast, but I love my hazies, man. I love my hazies. Hazies are great. Like, it's not all the company that can do a great hazy, but the genre itself is pretty good. I love hazies. I love New England IPA. Like, I'm a sucker for that. And yeah, and as I love Black IPA, as I love West Coast IPA, like, it always depends on the company, man.
Depends.
Yeah. In fact, beer depends on the company, if you think about it. Like, it's not all the beer that would be good at one company. Like, there's some beer, like some, I don't know, IPAs, for example, that are better at this company than the other company. Some barrel-aged beer would be better at this company than the other company.
Well, it's all like, whatever anybody ever specializes.
Exactly.
If they specialize in something, then that's kind of like their deal, you know.
Like, I'll take an example from where you are, Greater Goods. Greater Goods are specializing in high ABV beers, which is
all
fun.
Imperials.
And it's something we don't have here in Quebec. We don't have, well, we have one, but it's more specializing in the dark beers, which is Beauregard. But honestly, Beauregard took a deep dive into the ground like a few years ago, and honestly, it's not that good anymore. Like, it's not my favorite, to be honest. Oof. Like, I don't mean it's a bad company, just like, it's not the same than before.
You wouldn't make Phil's top 5 list, not anymore.
Unfortunately, no. I'm sorry. We have to choose sometimes.
Wow, that's
we
upsetting.
have to choose. Like,
so Phil, do you want to talk about your good news?
Yeah, my good news. Well, in
Phil's
June,
whole game is about to go
In
the
June,
roof.
this background that you see over here will not exist. It will not be existing anymore for the simple reason that I'm moving. Woo! I signed the lease yesterday, and I'm going to. I will move in an apartment, and for some people will ask, well, is it your first time that you are moving? No, because 3 years ago I was with my ex and we moved together. And it was during the pandemic. It was before the podcast. Before the podcast existed. We knew each other. But
that's
it's a long time ago.
we've known each other at least
we knew
years.
each other, and like we were like logging every fucking Thursday to see Matt and all. And there were a time that I was logging from that apartment. And 2 weeks after we moved, well, I decided to quit because I wasn't in love with her anymore. So yeah. And I came back to my parents' house, and here you go. Like, since the beginning of the podcast, you see this background over here that changed with like different flags and all. And now I will have my home, my new apartment. It's a pretty cool apartment. It's in a little town called Donnacona. It's near Quebec. Because honestly, in Quebec, it's so expensive. And no, it's not expensive like in the States. It's expensive for the level of Quebec, which is like, we are not paid that much. So yeah, it's like, you cannot have an apartment like I got like for under 800 Canadians, which I know it's not expensive for some American, but for us Canadian, it can be very expensive if you don't do a good job too. Like, I do a job that I love, but I don't do a job that pays well, and that's fine. That's my choice. So, because I know some people that can win like fucking $30 Canadian per hour. So like,
so what's $30 Canadian in US?
Do I have my converter on myself? Yeah, I have a converter. Let's go to XXXE converter. It's not sponsored, by the way. So let's check. $30. Done. $30 Canadian, it's 22.15 USD. So it's $22. 22.15.
And that would be considered.
It's
good.
like one of the highest pay rate that you can have. Like,
really?
If you are, yeah. And me, I will tell you, because I'm a transparent person.
That is
paid
quite
around
the culture shock.
I'm paid around $18 Canadian per hour, so which is 13 and 29 USD.
Wow, that is such a culture shock.
Oh shit! That really?
Yeah, because US, it's like, to afford to live, in Massachusetts alone, the average, you got to make at least $38 an hour. Yeah.
38?
I make north of that. Because I have a pretty good job. And my wife makes north of that. And we still struggle to like buy a house.
Look at my eyes.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
$17 an hour here is working at McDonald's.
You know what is 17 an hour? 17 an hour in Canadian? 17 an hour Canadian? It's $23, dude. $23. Like, it's not even like it's above my pay rate. It's so much above. It's a fucking culture shock. I'm shocked. I need a beer. God damn,
dude, it's messed up, huh?
But
the rents here have gotten they've gotten ridiculous. Like people have just gotten out of their.
But there's also a thing. If you win like above 38 an hour, like you don't like obligated to say it how much you pay, like how much you got. But anyway, it's not the important. The important is like everything is fucking expensive on your side, dude. If you struggle,
so I think that's kind of the deal. It's like as much as people get paid, like the way inflation works is like it's always gonna kind of be right there with you. So even though you get paid high dollar, you're still paying high dollar for everything else. So it like all evens out at the end of the day. Some people get lucky, right? So I know a guy. He's an electrician.
Yeah.
And he's an electrician. He's like technically he's like an electrician's foreman for a company. He gets paid Massachusetts wage, but he works and lives in the South for like 8 months out of the year or something like that.
Okay.
You know, because he gets sent to go do jobs there. So they pay him the wages that he makes here. So he'll just live down there. Living down there is way less expensive. So say for example, if he gets paid $65 an hour up here, the same job, the same work, like it's basically like kind of the same work and stuff. If he's working down south, those guys might get paid $45.
Damn.
So he's getting paid like a whole bracket higher doing what he's doing just because he's stationed up here. And it doesn't happen a lot, but but what he did is he got his shop is here, and so he kind of bounces back and forth, but his residency is still here, so they still pay him as if his residency's here.
Okay.
And then if he ends up down south and he gets rental properties and stuff down south, he'll just end up making a killing.
Damn.
Yeah, because everything is it's like less expensive in the south as compared to up here in the north. The reason behind that is because it's so much harder to live up here.
Okay, so I need to get a job in the States but live in Canada.
so like that's what I've always been curious about. Like, could you imagine if somebody here was working and living in Canada but was getting paid from the US?
Dude, this guy could be rich.
So they could be getting, so say like you have an office job, they're getting paid $40 an hour. Like, because there's some sort of, boss, project manager, something like that. But they live in Canada year round. Like, yeah, you convert it, you're killing it. And you might not be killing it back there, but you're killing it in Canada.
And also, you're not just converting, but like convert like all the thing, like the price of life over there. It's less expensive compared to the price in Massachusetts, for example. Like, compare it. Like, okay, so my apartment will cost around $630 a month. $630 a month Canadian, which is very not expensive if you convert it in American. Like, wow. I didn't count something. I don't know how does it work when you rent an apartment, but we don't have the home appliance. We have to pay the electricity. We have to pay the hot water, the internet too.
Do you know roughly like what those bills are going to be?
Roughly,
like did they give you like a rough estimate, like the average cost?
The appliance, like I have to pay it once. That's it. So I don't count it mensually. But like if we go with the hot water and electricity, it's around $80 Canadian. And the internet I haven't checked out, but let's stick with the hot water and
rent.
electricity. Let's stick with that.
Just do what rent is, and let's see what.
So let's say with
US
the rent,
wise.
just the apartment, it's like I'm going to pay maybe around 713 bucks.
Phil, I pay more for my truck
I know.
than I do for your apartment.
I know. I know. That's why. Like,
Wow,
okay,
dude.
so you pay. So like it would be around.
I pay my truck payment's $714. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You pay so much more because like my apartment in American, it's like my apartment plus hot water and electricity, it's like 526 and 42.
Dude.
So that's why I'm saying that like you should just work in Canada but get paid.
Dude, but that's like far and few in between. Like you gotta be stationed there for like. It's just the way that like if some companies, like I know that works for like traveling. If you're a traveling guy, and say that company gets a job down south, like and they'll send you down south. A lot of the time they pay for your room and board, but if they say, hey, just you're gonna be there a while, just rent a place. Like, that's what they'll do. They'll just be like, just rent a place, and then you could give them the bill. They'll dish it out, but a lot of the time, like they work it out. They can.
Shit.
A lot of guys can make a good money, but it's so far and few in between. You don't really see that a lot.
Okay.
He's been lucky. He's been real lucky.
It's such a culture shock. It's such a culture shock. I'm shocked right now because you told me how much you paid for your apartment. I was like, yo, it's so expensive. How can you pay for that? Now I understand because
And
you got
my price. The price that I pay, I'm very lucky because I know my landlord personally. And so I haven't seen a rent increase throughout like the whole time that this has been going on. I haven't really seen a rent increase since I've been here.
Damn.
It's only gone up $150 in like fucking almost 8 years.
Shit.
So it's like that's really really good. And because there are some people I know that like their rent went up almost 1,000. You know, like they just hammer you right now. And I think eventually what will happen is things will even themselves out because I think it's just so crazy right now. The thing that's killing people here is the amount that utilities are going. Like, because the utility companies, what happened is that during COVID, obviously everybody was, you know, not working for the most part.
Yeah.
Unless you were lucky. But there were people who couldn't afford to pay for their gas or their electric anymore. So companies like Eversource and National Grid put out like, you know, they put out these, whether it was rebate loans or it was like payment plans, or they did all these crazy things so that people could have their heat and electricity and not have to worry about, you know, regular pricing and things like that. Well, they lost money. The way it works out here, because those companies are so big and they control so much, you got to imagine they're going to get their money back somehow. How do they do that? They're going to wait and wait and wait. They're going to wait exactly 3 years later. And then once the winter hits, they're going to say, oh, hey, by the way, our prices are going up. They went up 60% this winter.
Fuck.
So my, like, the electricity in my apartment used to be like $80. Now it's like closer to $200. So it's like they just went right up with it because they're gonna they have to get their profits back. You know, their margins have to equalize again.
Come in Canada.
and then what's gonna happen is everyone's gonna get so sick and tired and used to them being 60% up that they're gonna go right back down, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, and then people who left National Grid and stuff as suppliers will come back to them because they went down in price, and then that will be, you know, the cycle repeats.
Yeah.
And then they'll end up with more customers and stuff. It's all just a game. It's a big fucking wheel, you know. It's just all how it happens, you know. Everyone takes advantage of this, of the downfalls.
This is not a game.
It's pretty fucked up. I mean, I'm sure that there's more to it, and I'm sure that like there's more to how everything works, and I'm sure that somebody right now is listening, going like their face is red. And they're like, he's not talking about the fucking thing. And it's like, I don't know, dude. That's just what I've seen from my brief time of being alive. Like, it's just a circle. They all have to make their profits work. And so if they have a bad year, how do you fix a bad year on your books? Well, you double your profits in the second year because then you even out. So how do you do that? Well, come up with some fucking marketing scheme. Come up with something that's crazy. Like, just make it look good, you know? Because when it all comes down to it and they have their little geek boy with a pocket protector punch in their numbers, and then they go in with a graph, the graph's going to look like this. But at the end of the day, the profits are just going to go steady. And that's what they want. So even though it's going to look like this, like the evies and lulls and plateaus, you know, throughout 10 years, yearly, they'll still manage a climb. And that's what they want.
Okay. That's interesting.
Nobody came here to listen to a business lesson, but here we are.
No. No, it's fucking interesting because, like, I'll be fair, like, I haven't, like, I've listened, but, like, maybe I just, like, got some information mixed up. But it's very interesting to hear about that. But, yeah, it's still a culture shock to see everything so fucking high.
It's a massive culture shock. But like you said, you don't get paid. Like, it sounds like that, again, everything's all, you know, it's all where it needs to be as far as
it's probably the
society
same thing because, like, in a way, if you struggle to pay all your bills and all with what you are doing as a job, the pay that you're doing at your job right now was a little bit the same thing that we are doing here. What we like per year, I'm doing 30,000, around 30,000 a year. Like,
that's what you make yearly?
Yeah, yearly 30,000. Maybe you are doing much more, but yet again, it's always like depending on also the cost of life and all. Price of life.
So I saw I almost touched six figures is what happened.
Shit.
Last year. I almost touched it.
I mean, six figure doesn't mean basically, I don't know if it means nothing for most American, but here, six figures like you're rich. Not that rich, but you're pretty rich. The thing is
that, like, you don't see a lot of it, you know, like, so it's like, I could say, oh, I almost, you know, like, I made six figures, but, like, that's what the government's concerned about. It's like, you made, but, like, what did you take home? You know what I mean? It's different. There's a difference in saying I made six figures and I took home six figures. Okay. Like, that's a difference. You know? Yeah. So wherever your ratio is wherever, but it's very hard to make six figures because of the way the tax ratios and stuff work out. Because every time you go up a certain amount in yearly, your taxes increase.
But
so it's like so you end up in a different bracket. That was something that happened under Trump, was the brackets got funny And so that like the higher middle class got fucked in a lot of aspects. And not that I was like necessarily higher middle class, but I was touching. And I tried to stay below it because if I had gone into it, I would have been hit more tax-wise.
Damn.
I don't know everything about how all this works. I know just enough to kind of keep myself out of trouble. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I know where the lines are, and that's all I have to care about. That's all I care about. You could definitely talk to other people that like really have their shit like dialed in. I'm not that person.
Damn. Maybe I look like the guy that doesn't understand anything that you said. Like I understand, but
I mean, like, dude, what are
so
you,
much?
Like this is your first apartment by yourself. Like
yeah.
I think that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I definitely think that, like, you know, you just, like, everyone has a lot to learn. Like, we're in our 20s. I'm approaching my later 20s. You're still on your,
well,
you know,
we're just, like,
20s.
a few months apart. We're just, like, 7 months apart.
Oh, yeah.
I
keep thinking you're, like, 25.
I'm not 25. I'm going on my 27th.
I know, dude. I keep thinking that.
Dude,
you got a young face.
Stop saying you're older than me.
I am, dude.
Yeah, 7 months. 7
That's
months.
older, dude. My son is 7 months old.
Not older enough.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, Drew is 7 months. I need to see him again.
Yeah.
In real.
He's like walking right now. He's walking in his walker.
Oh, okay.
He's not like walking around, but he can pull himself up. He can crawl, kind of. He can scoot. He can he's moving.
Is he doing the bacon?
The bacon?
The bacon move. Where he's like laying it around and just like doing the bacon.
No.
My bro was doing that when he was younger.
He stuck his fucking thumb in my nose, though.
What?
I don't know why. I was playing with him on the ground, and he just went straight. He just went right in. I was like,
Barry.
Yeah.
It's like the painful fingers in the nose. Boom.
Yeah.
Jutsu.
But I as a baby, my mom says I walked at 8 months.
Shit.
But I was a way bigger baby than my son is.
Yeah.
I came out 24, 25 inches.
Shit.
I was like 10 pounds. Like I was a big fucking
I had
boy.
10 pounds. My brother was 11 pounds.
Yeah. I think we talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this, but we can talk about it again. No,
I came out like a big baby. I was walking at like 8 months, but it was like I guess if you're big enough and you're strong enough, you can do it. Just typically babies aren't supposed to be big enough or whatever, but nowadays babies are bigger.
Yeah.
My son, even being 6 pounds, 6 ounces, like 10 years ago would have qualified as like a big baby, but now qualifies as like just slightly below average.
Yeah.
You know, like that's kind of nuts.
That's pretty nuts.
I know, dude.
These
Everyone
nuts.
says, like, these babies, dude, are like they're crazy sizes. It's because everyone just fucking eats McDonald's and Burger King all day. These kids come out like monsters.
Burger King and McDonald's
with heart and lung problems. They're like, what happened? Like, I don't know. Mom's just been eating grease for like fucking 9 months. You know?
Damn.
It's crazy.
So crazy, dude.
But yeah, I mean, you know, you'll see it. Once your bills start coming in and you start getting acclimated, like, one of the things that my wife does, she's way better with money than I am. So she does everything through like the checkbook status, and then she'll put stuff on calendars and things like that. So you remember, because it's one thing to like watch, on the new apps and stuff that they have. Like some apps are better than others. Some banks have better apps or whatever. But if your bank has a sucky app and you're not able to like track all your stuff, it's very easy to overdraft. And,
I mean,
when I first started out, I left my home when I was 19. And when I first started, it was hard. It like just to live was difficult.
Yeah.
So it was like I was using credit cards just for basic stuff. And eventually that caught up to me. And then I dealt with all that. Eventually moved into here. I moved back, and then I moved back into here, this place. And even then it was like I was living quite the life. Just running around. So you learn things as you go. But like don't be afraid to just like figure stuff out as you go. Like nobody's got it fucking figured out in the first go. So
I mean, I know that, and that's why earlier I said like, because of my new apartment and all, and money change and like changes in my job, like I won't be able to go in Massachusetts like last year. Maybe I will go to RPM Fest, but like that's it. I will try to maybe get a day off before RPM. Maybe go in Wester to see you. Maybe. But
we'll figure something out. Yeah.
We'll figure something out. And I know you're like still getting some money just to buy a house. So I know like if you don't come in Quebec, that's fine.
COVID fucked everything up because we were saving, and then because of how everything worked out, we had to readjust, and now we're back to saving again. So it's like you feel like you're just fucking spinning with your you're
sure.
just like running around with your head cut off all the time. So it's crazy. It's crazy out here.
So like I said, it's like I would probably go to RPM, but it's not sure because I still need to figure something out. Because like my job, it will change a couple of things at my job because we are getting like a new owner, so it will be
how crazy is it? How crazy is it to know that you're gonna be like by yourself?
Well, I honestly, it's kind of shock. It's a little bit shocking, but in a way, I'm happy to finally do it, finally live on my own.
So like I always thought that like the years that I learned the most was when I was by myself.
Yeah. And that's what I want, because like living with your parents, like it's good. I love my parents. Like for death. I love them for death. But the problem is it's like I'm not learning enough about me, about the life, about how to deal with everything in life. And right now, just this week, like I had to sign the lease. I had to find insurance because you need fucking home insurance. Like as a rent, as a renter, you need some insurance. And now realizing that the insurance that my dad got for my car, because my car is not mine per se. It's for the insurance. Is like my car is my dad's car, but it's not really. It's my car. I paid it myself. But now I will have to make my car to put it on my new insurance because I will change it because it will be less expensive to do it. Home insurance, like renter insurance and car insurance at the same company. So it's like it's less expensive. So it would be less expensive for me. So I would try to do all of those shit. Maybe get rid of some things, like maybe Netflix, because it's fucking expensive.
I just find that like those years by myself, even when I was by myself here, not necessarily like I had roommates, but I spent a lot of time like just on my own. Like those were the very trial years. Like just being by yourself and being able to figure out who you are as a person. Like I feel like everybody to some extent in their life has to spend their like alone time with their own thoughts.
Yeah.
And just figure out who they are, you know? Like, I used to think about, like, scenarios in my head that could happen in my life and, like, how I would react. Like, just weird shit like that kind of pops up sometimes that you just don't necessarily think about on a day-to-day, but if you're just kind of, like, surfing the web and, like, doing bullshit, like, kind of pops up. And then that's who you figure out who you are. And that either reinforces thoughts that you had or it scares the crap out of you. So you kind of figure it out from there.
Well, I have some thoughts, and I'm thinking about some of those stuff that like you're saying. But yeah, I just like right now I just need to be alone, and I need to just do my life as myself. And
throw on some doom metal.
Yeah, I need to.
Dude, the amount of thinking you do to Bell Witch's Mirror Reaper is amazing.
Yeah. There's also a band I will shout out later, but like this band, I'm like, I was listening to it, like, recently, and I was like, yeah.
I'm almost out of pear juice.
Well, I don't have juice anymore, so.
Well, I'm empty, so.
So we have two choices. One, we just like do the shout out now and we end the episode, or two, we have other shit to talk about because I said to the people that I would do it at 8:30, so we got time enough. Bud, you have your time too, so
let's shout out.
Shout out time. So my shout out is Sacred Sun. If you don't know what is Sacred Sun, it's a black metal project of one dude. I don't even know what is the name of the dude. I think it's from England or something. And that dude got the best artwork ever. Go check it out, Sacred Sun. You know that meme of like a black metal band, but like the album cover is like a dude, just like in his vacation. Like, go check Sacred Sun. Those fucking artwork are fucking amazing. And I learned this morning by Jerry Monk, the metal architect himself, that this guy is releasing a new album this year. Well, he already released it. And I checked it out, and fuck, it's so good. And like,
I thought you were gonna say it was ass. That would have been awesome.
No, it's fucking good. The fucking artwork is ass a little bit. It's like just him in a bar, just looking somewhere. Yeah. It's fucking amazing. I'm like, those fucking artworks are amazing. But I'm like, yeah, it's just random. But it's so good. It's so good. And the music is fucking great. This one is a little bit more ambient, but honestly, I like it. So go check it out, Sacred Sun. I don't remember the name of the album. Pravolia? Wait a minute, I would just check it out real quick. Real quick. Sacred Sun. It's Privolva. That's the name of the album. And it's independent. So yeah. And yeah. Ooh, Sacred Sun.
All right. Mine was an EP from last year. It is Chained to the Bottom of the Ocean. I tried catching you, but you fell through me.
Ooh, I think I listened to that album.
It was a 3-song EP, 17 minutes. But man, you talk about doom.
It's doom.
That's fucking good. They're coming out with a new album this year, Chained to the Bottom of the Ocean, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to what they got going on. I've always really enjoyed these guys. Self-release. They're an independent band as of now. So you know, I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, check out that EP. It's a quick listen. The songs are very evenly sort of dished out. You know, 7, almost 5, and then almost 6 minutes. So you got something that's pretty steady, but goes by pretty fast. So, you know, really got to enjoy the ambiance and the feelings that they dish out. So, yeah, Chain to the Bottom of the Ocean. That's a fucking mouthful, but great band.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that album. I think I heard of it because I was working on something last year that was linked to that band. And it's like a project that I did for a show in Greenfield. And that band was playing. So I did that project. And yeah, I was listening to that band when I was doing this fucking this poster. So I was like, oh shit, that band is good. But yeah. I think it's the end for this week.
Yeah, it is the end of the episode. So you fuckers better be enjoying yourselves out there. Where them hoes? Where they at?
Where the hoes?
The masses and them titties. Figure it out. This has been Whispers from the Void. And thanks for coming to our financial institution talk. Probably was all wrong about it, but
the Whispers Bank.
Yeah, the Whispers Bank.
And we are doing fucking like NFT, the Whispers NFTs.
Next week or two, we're gonna tell you about which stock to invest in. So that's great.
God damn.
All right. I'm Evan.
And I'm Phil. And see you on the next one. Cheers.